Hi guys, I hate having to make videos like this, but unfortunately I feel that I have to, because one of the things I'm seeing, okay, let's be honest, ULEZ has happened. The expansion has happened, and a lot of people are very upset, a lot of people are very angry, a lot of people are very despondent, and I'm in that. I'm in that group as well, because I'm affected by it as well, and I can understand that. But it doesn't mean that people have to descend to start lashing out at things and lashing out at people for reasons that really don't have any basis of discussion or argument in the context of what ULEZ is and what ULEZ is about and what the Mayor of London is doing and has done. And I think that one of the things that I'm seeing a lot of now on my channel, and bear in mind that my YouTube channel is called Brown Car Guy, and it's not the car that's brown, it's the guy that's brown. Bear in mind that my channel is called Brown Car Guy. Bear in mind that my name is Shahzad Sheikh. And I'm seeing a lot more racist comments and Islamophobic comments coming up on some of my videos. I let them through because I want people to see these people. I'm like, okay, fine, I'm not going to delete your comment. If YouTube does it, I don't know what happens there, but as far as I'm concerned, everything comes through. So you'll see the comments there. And, and just take a look. These are some of the things that I'm getting. And one of the things that I've got to address right up front is this fake story. And I don't know who was having a laugh. I don't know who thought this was going to be a funny idea or thought, oh, let's just put this story up. Might have seemed funny at the time. Maybe they did it out of a sense of humor, or maybe they did it out of malice. I'm not sure. But this story about, if you're going to the mosque, then you're exempt from ULEZ. So basically, if you're a Muslim, and because the mayor is Muslim, so therefore you have exemption. That is total and utter, and excuse my language, bullshit. There's no such thing. It was a fake story that was put out. And at the time it was said this is a fake story. It was a fake story. Now a lot of people have now taken that as read, and they're putting it out there, and it keeps coming up over and over and over again. And I don't know how many times I have to say it's a fake story. Just think of the logic of that. How could you even police something like that? What would you do? Put checkpoints up and go, well, how do you do? Is there something on the TfL website that says I'm a Muslim? Just think of the logic of that. It's just absurd. It's a completely ridiculous idea. And for people to go, oh yeah, this is what's happening, because the mayor is a Muslim. For God's sakes, you can see that I am a bit rattled, and I've said this over and over again. And I've said this. I stood in Trafalgar Square, and I said this, and I've said this on several videos. The whole ULEZ thing. It's not about race. It's not about religion. It's not about culture. It's about politics. It's about greed. It's about egos. It's about international agreements. There's a whole bunch of stuff it's about. But what it's not about is race, religion, and culture. It's simply not. And you take Sadiq Khan, and at the end of the day, I'm always very careful to address the policies and the things that he's doing rather than who he is. At the end of the day, you can hate his policies. That's fine. You can hate him for his policies. You can hate his politics. And that's all fine. You can hate the fact that he's doing what he's doing because he's a politician, because of affiliations that he might have that are nothing to do with his race or religion or anything like that. But to do so in terms of targeting his race, his culture, his religion, his heritage, or whatever, at the end of the day, you'll even lose the credibility of your own argument because you're just descending to a level that doesn't actually make any logical sense, and actually weakens your argument. It weakens the whole discussion. It lowers and debases the whole debate. That's what happens, because there's no logic in it. There's no common sense in it. It doesn't make any sense. So the fact is that if you're going to tackle Sadiq Khan, and you're going to tackle the whole issues regarding ULEZ and toxic air pollution and the information that he's putting out from certain academic institutes and what have you, then use logic, use facts, use information, use data. And I provided a lot of that, on browncarguy.com. If you go on there and you click on the first link, I provided a lot of that information there for you. I've looked into his claims, I've looked into what he said. That's fine. You look at all of that, break it down, get back to him, attack him on that. That's absolutely fine. But when you attack him because, he's from an Indian Pakistani heritage, or when you attack him because he's a Muslim, or when you attack him because of, those reasons, you need to remember something else. I'm the brown car guy. I'm also of Indian Pakistani heritage. I'm also a Muslim. I go to the mosque. Do you know what I mean? If you're saying that this is the reason that he's doing these things, but then you're coming on my page and doing it, or you're saying this because, I mean, just think about what you're saying. Just think about, yeah, I guess I'm losing the words here, but honestly, it's like, that's how flustered I am. I'm also from that background. I am also that person. I am also brown. My name is Sheikh. And you look at some of these comments that I've been getting, and it's just absolutely ridiculous. I mean, the reality is, you think about, those of you that have been following my channel for a while. I mean, I don't want to boast. I don't like to blow my own trumpet or what have you. But, at the end of the day, can you name one other person that has spent as much time, effort, and dedication in covering the whole ULEZ debate, in covering the events, in discussing it, in pushing forward arguments against the ULEZ expansion? Do you know anybody that's done more in terms of media than I have? I mean, there's a couple of great people out there that have done a lot of stuff, but I've been there since day one doing this stuff, there's many similarities between, my heritage, my color, my background, my religion, and Sadiq Khan. So it's like, honestly, you need to separate these things and understand that there's a logical argument and there's something that is entirely unrelated, and you just don't need to go there. And we talk about, I mean, I saw this. This is crazy. This morning, somebody sent me this. This is on one of the groups, on one of the Facebook Action Against ULEZ groups. I mean, why even ask this question? I mean, to me, it's just mind-boggling. Like I said, I mean, I'm Asian, right? And the only person that I know of that has done a week-long hunger strike in protest against the ULEZ expansion, he's also Asian, by the way, and he's also served. He's served, so he's a veteran, and he's Asian. And he's done this. So to even raise this question is frankly insulting, honestly. And the reality is that I meet lots of Asians. I mean, I'm just around where I am, or when I go to events and stuff like that, I meet lots of Asians. I meet lots of people from the Black and Afro-Caribbean communities. I meet people from the Arab communities. And to a person, they all come to me. They all want to talk about ULEZ. They all want to talk about how much they hate it, how much it's causing them problems, how much distress it's causing them, how much they hate Sadiq Khan for introducing it. This is universal. This is throughout. This is everybody. So some people say, well, why don't they come to protest? I mean, I can't answer that question. I can't answer that question. A lot of people are from communities where they work. They work all the time. A lot of people that run their businesses, run their shops. They literally work all the time. But on the other hand, you got to think about the fact that, well, maybe, with stuff like these comments or like posts that I just put up, maybe they're afraid. Have people thought of that? I mean, maybe just people like, oh, okay, maybe the fact that, Sadiq Khan has been saying, oh, there's right-wing people and there's conspiracy theorists and there's racists and stuff like that. Maybe that's actually put people off. And then maybe by doing what people are doing, by putting up comments like these, is actually going to make things worse. It's actually going to put people off even more, because it's just like, oh, well, I don't want to be part of that. I mean, you've got to be honest. Like, you have to really wonder. I mean, it's just crazy. I mean, it could be that there's some mischievousness going on here. Maybe that there's some outside people coming in here and trying to create these divisions and trying to create this disharmony amongst groups, which, one of the things I said at that speech, which feels like months ago now, in Trafalgar Square, was that, one of the amazing things that ULEZ has done is brought everybody together. And this is the thing, that on a personal level, and I've been to so many events, countless events I've been to, countless people that I've met, all the amazing friends and acquaintances that I've now made through, coming to these events and interviewing these people, and everybody that I've got to know. And I've got to say that in person, I've experienced nothing but support and appreciation and affection and, dare I say, love, for myself and for what I've been doing. So, on a personal level, on a face-to-face level, there's been no issue whatsoever, but it's hard to get that message out there. It's hard to explain to other people that that's the case, especially when you start seeing, messages and comments like this, and it could be that perhaps people are trying to stir the pot. Perhaps this is a deliberate orchestration in order to make true the claims that Sadiq Khan has been making about the people that have been protesting against ULEZ as being, far-right conspiracy theorists and, above all, racist. Maybe this is the way to make that actually happen. And if it is, then we're all falling into that trap right now. then that's exactly what's happening, you know. And the reality is that ULEZ is not about religion, it's not about culture, it's not about race, because ULEZ impacts everybody. Everybody drives, everybody in London. London is a mixed community, and London should be proud of the fact that it's a mixed community of a lot of different people that are all going about their daily lives, all just getting on with their work and their family lives and whatever, all just happily living together, and all need to go about their business, and they're all impacted by something like ULEZ. You know, this is not exclusive to one or two communities. It affects everybody. It affects everybody, you know, and this is the reality of it. So, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. What I need to tell you is, like, A, beware, and B, you know, be very cautious, and C, we should be very circumspect and very thoughtful and very considerate before making and posting such comments and such ideas and such concepts, or any kind of accusations towards any kind of communities. And finally, you know, if these groups suddenly become, you know, areas of rampant racism, or appear to be, or rampant Islamophobia, then, you know, I'll have to really consider my association, because, you know, at the end of the day, I would not be comfortable with that. I'm sure you can understand why. You know, that's the reality of it, you know, and it would be a shame, because, you know, like I said, you know, I've you know, made friends, made acquaintances, you know, I've been embraced by the protest groups when I've gone to these events, and you know, I've done everything that I can in order to try and make people's voices heard, and in order to try and get the messaging across, in order to try and create some understanding around what the impact is of ULEZ on communities in the outer London area. I've done everything I possibly can. Maybe I've done all I can. Maybe. Anyway, I'm sure I'll hear from you in the comments. Thanks for watching. Brown card guy. Hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please hit the like button and share this video as well if you can. And while you're at it, check out these guys who also sponsor my content. I am deeply grateful to them, because it helps me to buy new equipment, put fuel in the cars, and yes, buy a cup of coffee. You can do the same. Just go here, or right here on YouTube. Just hit these three little dots down here and click on thanks. Make sure you're signed in first. My content is free, but this is how you can help me keep it that way. I may even send you a gift. Oh, by the way, watch this next.